Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
Call from mom. Answer it. Call silenced.
Instacart knows nothing gets between you and the game. That's why they make ordering from your couch easy. Stock up today and get all your groceries for the week delivered in as fast as 30 minutes without missing a minute of the game.
You have 47 new voicemails.
Download the app to get free delivery on your first 3 orders while supplies last. Minimum $10 per order. Additional terms apply.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
Phony. And a phony at the mic.
Please hang on. Please. This is an official interruption of your local entertainment transmission.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show, starring Bob Lutz.
You may know less about me than anyone.
That would be terrific. That would be great, huh?
Terrific. That was terrific.
Jeff Lutz.
Well, that's what you're talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
I mean, the only class in this act, and I'm here to tell you, this boy's soul is intact.
97.5 and 1240 KFH.
I heartily endorse this event or product.
Good afternoon and welcome. Man, my throat hurts today. I'm worried that I'm going to cough throughout the show, but I'm not gonna. This chair is very loud. It is Bob and Jeff on KFH. Jason Duda is here. Bob is not. I'm Jeff. Max Power, our producer and our engineer. This is the worst chair ever.
God, it's annoying.
I wish I would have
It's annoying.
realized that before the show started.
Between the chair and you, it's going to be an annoying 2 hours.
So it is. It is going to be an annoying 2 hours.
It is.
We have 2 finals already in the NCAA tournament.
How are your brackets doing already, people?
One of my... me? How's your bracket?
0-2. 0-2 to
You're not going to have a perfect bracket.
Can you believe it?
That is out the window for you.
It's gone.
I am 1-1 in one of my brackets. Hey, we allowed you to put 2 in our tournament challenge. Bob and Jeff take on the world. How many people?
I was going to say
17 people got into that, including me twice. A lot of people picked UConn. Jason Duda picked Arizona. We had one person pick Tennessee. Lance Kellenbarger did not pick anybody. He entered, but didn't make any picks.
Well, he's not going to do well.
So if you're listening, Lance Kellenbarger, well, he made 1 pick, but he didn't fill out a second.
So is
bracket.
he ahead of me? There's a chance.
It's hard to say. Maybe. Go Shocks pokes orange, my friend David Michael Hahn. That's just sickening. He's 2-0.
Oh, good player.
He's got he had Duquesne and freaking Michigan State. I'm already pretty angry at him.
At who?
David Michael Hahn.
Why? Because he got them both right?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, he got 2 out of 32 so far.
Well, Duquesne, I mean, it's not an easy pick.
That was a good pick. I'll give him that.
I get that it's not like shocking.
Maybe the Big 12 isn't as good as everybody thought.
Maybe the Power 5, Jason, isn't as good as everybody thought. You ever thought of that?
That is
possible.
possible.
They force it down our throats.
Over and over again.
All we've seen in the last few years is that it could be Duquesne, It could be Florida Atlantic. It could be San Diego State. It could be Loyola.
St. Peter's.
These aren't
Florida Atlantic.
These aren't one-offs anymore, right? These aren't just cute little stories. These are teams that win multiple games, sometimes get to the Final Four, and they're every bit as good as their Power 5 brethren. Would you agree with that?
Well,
maybe not at the top or at the bottom.
No, I think maybe at the top of those conferences could play, not with the top, but say after your top 2 or 3 teams, then I think they're right there. And that's, Duquesne plays BYU, who finished, 4th, 5th in the Big 12 kind of thing?
Yeah, they were right there. They had great wins. Didn't they beat KU?
So, but I think those teams are most definitely in that category. Are they in the category of Houston or a UConn? No, I don't think so.
No.
But they still end up coming up. And if the thing with these tournaments is it's one and done. So if you're off a little bit, other teams on, doesn't matter who it is.
It's over. You got to be
done.
ready from the jump.
It's done. So that's what's so great about this tournament is anybody beats anybody.
BYU now out of the tournament. They're just finished.
Go home.
Their season's over.
I bet you they had the weekend book too.
Isn't that crazy? It's not crazy because we understand how tournaments work in a single elimination format. But, this is a team that was thrilled, excited. Hey, we're going to the NCAA tournament. We got it done. Over.
See ya.
1 40-minute period of play, ball game.
It happens that quick. That is sports at its best, Jeffrey.
You think that's the best that sports has to offer?
Well, I don't know if it's the best sports
has
you just
to
said
offer,
but it's right
sports
there.
At its best. What's the difference?
Sports at its best. There's lots of bests in sports. I didn't say the best. At its best.
Oh, well, I guess you didn't, did you?
Thank you. Thank you for apologizing. I know that's difficult.
We still got a bunch of games to go. There are a few in progress, North Carolina and Wagner. We expect North Carolina to run away with that one, but it hasn't necessarily happened yet, has it?
No. Arizona's up 6 at half on the old Long Beach State.
Creighton is going to beat Akron, it seems. That was close early, but now Creighton is up by 16. We got Morehead State, Illinois, Oregon, South Carolina coming up during this show, and Nevada against Dayton.
Don't know that one. That was a guess for me. I think I took
most
Dayton
of them were
it,
guesses for me.
But, I'm with you. Most were guesses.
That's what I'm saying. We call these games upsets, and it's all to me confirmation bias. Even the math, the numbers, the metrics. Well, who did you beat? Well, you didn't beat anybody unless you beat a Power 5 team. But these schools that are outside the Power 5 and are good never get to play Power 5 schools because they don't get scheduled.
Well, because Power 5 don't want to play them.
They don't want to play them.
And there's a reason, because you look at the tournament, and they get beat a lot of the time.
And then we find out in March that those teams are just as good. There's nothing separating BYU from Duquesne.
No.
BYU's good. Duquesne's good.
I agree.
Neither of them are awesome. Neither of them are terrible. But just like KU and Samford, there's not a ton separating those teams.
Well, but there's got to be. You got to think there's probably a little more talent on the Kansas side.
Now, is there separation between the programs, Kansas and Samford?
Oh, of course.
Monumental. The biggest difference you could have between programs. But KU this year, with its injuries and inconsistency and susceptibility against perimeter shooting, lack of their own perimeter shooting.
Lack of depth is one of the bigger ones.
No one's going to be shocked if Samford rises up in that game.
Not really. I don't think so.
No one's going to be.
They're only favored by 6.5.
Yeah.
Normally, if we came into the first round and KU's playing Samford, you're thinking close to 20. Right? Normally.
Yeah, of course.
If we were in a different year, KU's going to be a 1 or a 2 playing a Samford 15-6. It's a 20-point spread. This year it's 6.5. That's telling you
basically nothing.
There's an issue. There's a problem.
And it's Vegas telling us that they don't really know either.
Well, it was 7.5 yesterday. Then McCullers' injury came out and it dropped right down to 6.5.
It's hard to know.
Yeah, I don't like you said. It's not going to surprise anybody.
This is as quiet as KU has been going into a tournament that I can remember.
It's almost like just get it over with.
There's
get
nothing.
The weekend over with, one way or the other. So you either start talking about him again, or it's just, we expected not to get through the weekend.
That might be it. I don't know. But not a lot of buzz around KU except for...
Except for the fact, what, Jeff?
That they have some injuries. Yeah. Is that what I was about to say?
I don't know.
I don't know what's happening with my body, but none of it is good. We got a lot to talk about today, not the least of which is the NCAA tournament, but we will shift our focus at 2:45 to talking more American League Central. We'll talk Cleveland Guardians today.
Oh, my goodness. The Cleveland Guardians.
And we're going to talk to Zack Meisel of The Athletic, who is the premier, it takes 3 times for me to say that.
It does.
What are you showing to Max there?
Well, you got to change the channel when he gets a second. Doesn't have to do it right now, but when he gets a second.
Zack Meisel, the premier beat reporter covering the Cleveland Guardians. We only have really 3, right?
What, beat reporters?
For the Guardians that are
that's
there.
Probably too many for the Guardians.
No, we've got MLB.com, Mandy Bell, who does a fantastic job, but that's a different gig. That's having your paycheck signed by Major League Baseball, who only want their teams and players covered in the most positive light possible.
Wouldn't that be tough?
No,
when you
awesome.
have to, but you have to say good things all the time.
You don't always have to say good things, but you have to. Like the most positive light possible.
You have to
not the most positive light.
So basically, you have to skirt the truth.
No, I don't think there's anything like that at all. Well, maybe. That's hard. That's a tough one.
Okay.
Because I'm thinking about the things that she's reported. None of them are factually incorrect, right? That she's written on this spring, but there is, I would say, a little skirting of what's really going on.
See, there you go.
I think that's a fair assessment.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. That's very nice of you to say. You've apologized to me.
I did.
You complimented me already today.
When did I apologize?
Unbelievable. That's happened in the first 9 minutes of the show.
That is incredible. I don't remember apologizing to you, but if you say it happened,
you did.
It must be the truth.
Yeah, it is.
Then you have Paul Hoynes, who covers the Guardians for the Cleveland Plain Dealer, which I guess is their news. I mean, it is their newspaper. I don't know their publication status. But newspapers all over the place don't have the best publication statuses.
Well, we'll see what he has to say.
And then you have Zack Meisel.
Are you going to be like grilling this guy or just asking questions? As a fan, getting a chance to talk to him, how are you going to approach this?
Well, you have to, for me.
Yeah, well, that's why I'm asking.
This interview isn't for the casuals out there. I want some answers, right? I'm not going to treat this. I love the Cleveland Guardians, as you know.
Yes,
but this isn't going to be a love fest. This is going to be a critical interview.
Okay, good. I'll just let you run with it. I can't wait. I'll jump in.
I would like you to jump in.
I'm just saying, I can't wait to see the digging that's going to go on here.
Well, I gotta find out he's the best. So we'll talk to him. What did you make of Shohei Ohtani? Have you followed this story at all?
Yes, I heard it today driving to work. I was like, what is going on?
So I'll catch people up. Basically, Shohei Ohtani, it was going to be revealed by someone in his camp that his associate, his interpreter, racked up a $4.5 million gambling debt, and that Shohei Ohtani paid it off for him to what is being characterized as an illegal gambling ring.
Gotcha.
I'm not there. I'm not in the investigation. I can't confirm or deny whether it's illegal. There is a federal investigation into the circumstances of the gambling ring. But after that was all kind of starting to break, then Ohtani's lawyer said, no, he didn't say this, but this is what the insinuation was. No, that $4.5 million that was paid off from Ohtani was actually stolen from Ohtani and paid off by this interpreter who was then fired.
Right, that's kind of what I understood.
So cover-up is the allegation. We have no idea. I'm not here to speculate. I can believe the story that Shohei's friend got a $4.5 million gambling debt, and it was paid off by Shohei. That I'm willing to believe. I'm not saying I do believe it or that I know it to be a fact. That is plausible to me. Everything after that, I can't form an opinion.
Well, the problem after that is, like you said, everybody's going to be trying to cover up so it basically saves Shohei from anything. Other than the fact that, yeah, he was helping out his interpreter, and now he's gone. But he was with them for, 12 years? And, I mean, they traveled
were best
everywhere.
friends.
Yeah,
This wasn't just the guy.
This isn't just a guy that kind of worked for him. It was like his buddy, one of his best buddies.
Yes.
So, obviously, with Shohei and what he has, I mean, that's a big chunk, but that's the guy that can write that check and not have to worry about buying groceries next week, right?
Correct.
So I can see that, but then there's a federal investigation going on, yes,
and you have Shohei Ohtani's name attached to it.
You know somebody's going to be in there because that's a big case for them if they can prove that it was maybe Ohtani or whatever else. So that's what the lawyers get in, and it's like, no, this is what actually happened. Did it? We'll never know. I can honestly say I don't think we'll ever really know.
We have to.
It'll be buried. It'll take forever. You know how this stuff works. That's the way. That's what's going to happen.
How this stuff works is that there will be a lot of people digging on it, and that the story will be uncovered and will unfold faster than you expect.
Really?
That's I
don't think so.
That's my feeling.
I can appreciate.
I'm not saying
that.
the investigation is going to be wrapped up quickly or that they're going to find answers, but we're going to know more about this story faster than you think. It will trickle out. There will not be just okay, well now let's wait a year or two and then it'll sweep itself under the rug.
I think they'll try to keep this as quiet as they possibly can.
Well, they can't. That's impossible.
What do you mean they can't?
Because there are reporters that, do their jobs and find out information and will discover things. There's no burying.
None?
They might try.
Oh, they will try.
They might try to bury it.
They will try.
They might try to keep everything a secret.
Well, of course they will.
That's why we have journalists.
That's why?
To uncover information.
Oh.
To get to the bottom of what the facts are.
Well, then I'm curious to see what the actual facts are.
The facts do not discriminate, right? That's a common saying. The facts are just the facts.
That is true.
Jeff Passan or whoever decides what baseball writers, what non-baseball writers, they have no agenda, typically.
Well, you're not supposed to.
You're not supposed to. Jeff Passan, a guy who will be following the story, certainly doesn't have an agenda. He's going to go where the story takes him. And you have to follow the story. It could be,
everybody wants this story.
It could be the biggest story in the history of baseball.
Guy just signs a $700 million deal.
Or it could be nothing.
And he just writes a check for $4.5 to pay off an illegal gambling debt. Yeah, that's a story. Right?
Big story, if that's what happened.
But we don't know for sure.
But the lawyers are saying that no, that actually that money was stolen.
See? And the lawyers will get in there, and then they'll be, you can't say anything, blah, blah, blah. We'll bury it in paperwork. Get this, get that. It's going to take forever. I still think it's going to take forever to find out.
It seems like a paper trail.
I want to. I want to know right now.
Well, I'm telling you right now.
But I'm telling you right now.
I'll tell you right now.
I'm going to tell you right now. It's not going to take a week. It's going to be a long time.
Well, it's not going to take a week, but it's not going to take a year either.
You'll have people speculating and thinking that this is probably it.
See, you said speculate. That's not what their job is to do.
I know, but you will have people that will do that. We're doing it. We're speculating.
I'm not speculating at all. What are you speculating
on what's going
about?
on?
I'm not. I have no idea what's going on. All I'm saying is
you said
we'll find out.
We'll find out.
I didn't speculate. Name one thing I speculated on.
You didn't say that you're pretty sure that he paid the gambling debt
No,
off?
I said I'm willing to believe that.
And that he had the gambling debt?
No.
So if he didn't have the gambling debt like you said to start with, then that means he might have stole it. So you're speculating that he had the gambling debt?
No, I'm saying I'm willing to believe that Shohei Ohtani paid off his friend's $4.5 million gambling debt. I'm willing to believe that.
I would agree.
I'm not saying I do believe it. I'm saying that's the most plausible right now to me in my brain, which works at a little bit higher rate than a lot of other brains.
Huh?
That's what my brain is wrapping itself around at the moment.
Okay. Yeah. We'll find out in a year or two.
Please.
A
year or two.
A
Can you imagine if it really took that long?
It will.
It will
Before
not.
they get to the bottom of it and we actually know factual what happened, it'll be a year or two.
A year or two. Are you talking like going through trials? Do you think there will be a criminal?
If they're going to say they do go to trial, what do you think? That's going to happen next month?
No, I'm not saying that's going to happen next month. But to find out whether Shohei Ohtani paid a gambling debt, that doesn't seem like it would be too difficult to figure out. You don't think bookies, illegal bookies, keep pretty intricate records of who pays them and when and who owes what?
I bet this guy doesn't anymore. I bet you they're all gone.
That's what I'm saying. They've been kept. Now they have been
gone.
Seized.
So if they come to ask you, like I'm not sure.
Please.
I don't have any books.
There's a paper trail.
Just with $4.5 million.
The guy already admitted that Shohei paid off the gambling debt. That was an admit. He admitted it, the spokesperson guy. It's hard for me to keep all the characters in this story straight. It wasn't the interpreter. It was the spokesperson who, Shohei paid off this guy's gambling debt. Before it goes too far, that's what happened. And then they took it all back. They said, no, that's not what happened. Shohei is actually the victim of a massive theft.
See, there you go. Never know for sure.
That's why.
Maybe it is a theft.
Then why would they?
Maybe they just said it this way in order so he's covering for his buddy.
Right.
Because he doesn't want him to go to jail or doesn't want to have to deal with that because then he'd be gone.
It's pretty easy.
But if he stole it, then the only person that can really charge him is Shohei.
What are you talking about?
If he stole the money.
That's illegal, right?
Yeah, but if nobody presses charges, and it has to be the person that he stole it from.
So if I kill you right now, which I'm almost ready to do, you don't press charges, I'm good.
Well, I won't, but the family will.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, yeah.
You know what? I think sometimes it doesn't really matter what the family wants.
In certain situations,
some things are just illegal.
I would agree.
Like I can't go steal somebody's car, and they'd be like, he was just having fun. No, I'm going to be charged. I'm going to be arrested. You can't steal $4.5.
I don't think this works that way.
You can't steal $4.5 million and just.
But Shohei has to say, "I want to press charges."
No, he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Why do you think you know the law?
I know this. I'm almost 100% positive.
Should we get our friend David Michael Hahn, an attorney, to come on and discuss this with us?
Well, we might have to.
Okay. Well, I'm going to tell him to call.
Now, if it's a gambling ring, then no, you don't have to. Because then that brings in a different organization of the law.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
In order to...
What organization would that be?
What is it? RFN, one of them.
RFN, yes. I think that's it.
It's one of those... Shut up, Jeff.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
just say you don't know what you're talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
And we'll move on.
Just say, yes, Jason, you are correct.
Let's take a break.
Just say it. Say it out loud. Try it on for size.
I would never.
See how it feels.
You are struggling so
Duda,
badly.
You are right.
You are.
I apologize.
You are in so far over your head.
You are so correct.
Can we just take a break?
And I was wrong. Thank you.
Jason Duda's here. It's Bob and Jeff on KFH Max Power. Takes us to break. Stay with us.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
Your fever is high and the pressure to log in at work is too. But when you finally decide to take care of you, there's Instacart. Just because that one perfect coworker of yours is attending all meetings, camera on while she's sneezing, coughing, and aching, doesn't mean you have to do the same. Take it from us. Trying to stay on top of things will only get you further behind. Instead, get everything from tissues and teas to cough suppressants and comforting soups delivered through Instacart in as fast as 30 minutes. If anyone needs anything, they can just redirect their questions to that one perfect coworker coworker of yours.
Old Man Winter here. If I had it my way, it would stay winter all year long. Short days, wind chill, black ice, and a good polar vortex. Oh, heaven! Wait, is it getting warm in here?
Your cold snap is over, Old Man Winter. Spring has arrived.
Spring.
Spring is here, which means it's the perfect time to get away in the Hyundai you've always wanted. Visit the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event, where you can get great deals on all of our award-winning Hyundai models, like the tech-filled Tucson and Kona, as well as the spacious Palisade. Enjoy wherever you go with the peace of mind that comes with America's best warranty and 3 years or 36,000 miles of complimentary maintenance. But hurry in, these deals won't last. Add more joy to your journey at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now get 0% APR or up to $1,500 bonus cash on the Hyundai Tucson. Now, during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Offers end soon. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
This is the Bob and Jeff Show on 97.5 and 1240 KFA.
Good song. You know that one, right?
I've heard of it.
You've heard it.
I've heard of it.
That's good. Let's go to our resident criminal defense attorney. He's some kind of lawyer, and he's my friend. His name is David Michael Hahn. David Michael Hahn, how's it going?
I want to give a little bit of my thoughts on all of this, but I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
Do you even know what you were being summoned for?
Well, how do you know I was summoned? Did you text me? I actually didn't even look. I just knew to call.
Yeah, of course.
I really didn't. Somebody called me and said, you need to call in right now.
Well, you did, and I did text you.
Shout out to my big friend, Big Klotz, and the Pig Out Bros. Check us out on YouTube. But yeah, we called in, or I'm calling in.
What a
you guys
shill.
Need my attorney privileges. I am not a criminal defense attorney. I'm not anywhere in the criminal world. What I'm about to say, if anything, if it's relevant, is not at all supposed to be any type of legal advice. I just want to put that out
That's
there.
great. Small print.
Do you hate
David,
that you
well
have
done.
to? Do you hate that you have to say this? Isn't there a part of you that secretly wishes, man, I hope they take this and run with it?
No, not at all. I am a tax attorney. I might be able to talk about some of the tax implications, but beyond that, not what I do. But I am an attorney, so I can talk a little bit.
You passed the bar.
I've passed lots of bars.
These nets.
I've done both.
See, and I've probably passed you at that bar at one point.
Probably.
So if I steal $4.5 million from Jason, does he need to press charges personally against me for me to be prosecuted?
Okay. Well, I think you said a lot of things right there.
I said one thing.
No, you said a few things. Okay, so to be prosecuted is different than being civilly in a lawsuit. So the prosecution side would be the state coming against you and saying, or the nation, I should say, if it's federal, coming against you and charging you with crimes, the criminal matter. That can happen, and then in conjunction to that, you can also sue civilly for the same thing.
So your answer is no. The answer is no.
I don't think I know what your question was.
So basically, what our argument was that so in this case, Shohei Ohtani, his best friend, possibly have stole money from him. Can somebody else come in and charge him, or does he have to press charges in order for him?
Got it.
To be,
does that make sense?
Does he have to press the charges?
Thank you very much.
I got you. So this is out of my realm.
Good grief.
Understandable. It's out of Jeff's too, so don't worry about it.
This is I think that the state has some more control in pressing charges. I don't know if Shohei necessarily has to sign off. You always hear people say, "Oh, they decided not to press charges," but I do believe the state can act outside of that. Again, not fully my realm. So take it. There's probably some.
Can we get Mark Bennett on the phone? Can we get somebody who knows the answer to these questions?
I could have my cousin Mark Hartman call in. He's a criminal defense attorney. He'd give you a way better answer.
Oh, he'd know for sure.
Maybe we should do that later on.
Because he's a real lawyer. He actually goes to court. So
interesting. Yeah, so what's your 2 bits on this whole thing anyway while we got you?
I mean, it's terrible if it's true. If it's not true, it's still pretty terrible because, it's causing a lot of unwanted attention toward Shohei. Shohei led me to a fantasy baseball championship last year. Decided not to draft him this year.
You are absolutely shameless.
Hey, I'm a 4-time champion, back-to-back champ. So
that is impressive.
But yeah, I mean, I think it's unfortunate. I think if it's true, I mean, certainly Shohei should try to recoup some of that money. But you got to think about if the guy even has any money. I mean, you might just send him to bankruptcy, and that's a whole nother ballpark.
All right. Well, terrible job.
Well, he basically agreed with me, so that's why it's terrible.
Did he?
Yeah.
Hey, not Jeff, but Duda, can we be Mustache Bros? I'm thinking about mushrooms.
No, that's you and Jeff, man. You guys run with that. I'm out. But I appreciate you asking.
Jason is really protective of his perceived manhood and masculinity. So anytime you want to question him on that, he's not going to roll with it.
It's funny how you just twist that into something that's totally irrelevant.
We are all struggling today.
Thanks, David Michael Hahn. Go back to work.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks for the legal advice.
It was not legal advice.
Man, that's too bad that he's a professional and that he upholds his professionalism.
Well, I didn't even get a chance to ask him about the tax implications. That's what we could have got.
Did we
He'd
care?
have known that.
What are the tax implications?
Well, it'd have been something he'd have known for sure.
But who cares?
I don't.
No offense to tax attorneys. And
well, in this situation, nobody really cares about the tax implications in it.
Nobody. That's what I just said.
That's why I'm just agreeing with you. That's why I said that.
Okay.
But all I was saying was he probably would have known the answer to a possible situation that they would be in on the tax side of it. That's all I said. And then you said, who cares?
And you.
And then I said, well, it'd have been interesting to hear it.
But then
we got him on the phone and we took him away from work, could have gave him a few minutes where
he's not working.
Could have really told people exactly what would have happened instead of us trying to figure out the criminal side of it that we still don't really know.
Yeah, we know.
That I'm right.
Please.
That's what he basically said I'm the one that was right.
No, he didn't.
You're just mad because he didn't agree with you in your first
He
question
said he
that
didn't
had
know
8
because
different
he's not a criminal attorney. No, it didn't. I said, does if I steal money from you, do you have to personally press charges for me to be prosecuted?
That's 3.
That's
right
one
there.
question.
That's 3 questions inside a question.
What are the questions?
As a lawyer.
What are the 3?
I just counted them as you went.
Okay, well, what are the 3?
What's the first start? If you steal from me.
That's not a question. That has no...
but that's an implication that you've made in your statement that would have to be answered.
That's not even a question.
We don't know if you stole because supposedly it was a debt that was paid off.
There's a comma.
What's the question?
There's no conjunction
What's the answer?
in that sentence.
Oh, Jeffrey.
Next.
Yeah, this is terrible. You're having a bad show so far.
I'm having the best show of my life. I've never had a better show than this. If you're looking for a March Madness NCAA tournament game to get really invested in that might go down to the wire, you're going to have to wait at least till the next session. The game's going on now. Arizona up 19 on Long Beach State. Top seeded North Carolina is handling Wagner, and Creighton up 17 on Akron. That game's in the final 70 seconds or so. So none of those games are in doubt. No. And the BYU Duquesne game was pretty good. I didn't get to watch much of it.
Absolutely. I agree.
But, it was close throughout. And we got one of those games early. But now we just need more.
Yeah, I don't want to see a bunch of blowouts.
Nobody
wants
wants
that. It just kind of ruins everything.
I'm looking forward tonight. I'm going to go in my little extra room that I got. I'm going to plug my phone in there. I'm going to get under the blankets and just watch some basketball till it's over.
As soon as you get home?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow. Fantastic.
What about you?
Well, I'll probably go home, make some dinner, then see what we have going tonight. It's Thursday. I think Thursdays are one of our quiet nights.
It's a little quiet.
I don't think there's really anything going on tonight.
Opening night of my daughter's play is tonight at Andale High School.
Well, are you going?
No, I'm not going to go tonight. We're going to go.
Okay. What do you mean opening night and you're not going?
It's just the first night.
Instead, you're going to go crawl under some blankets.
We're going to go Sunday.
And
that's when they're honoring the seniors and having festivities and doing
Why
things.
wouldn't you go both days?
Well, do I have to go all the days?
Might be nice.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday?
I'm sure she'd appreciate the support.
Well, I'm sure she would. And maybe I will, but I won't. I can commit right now. It would be nice.
And maybe I will, but I won't.
It would be nice. I agree with you on that. And there's part of me that does want to go all 4 nights, but there's one extenuating factor.
What's that?
She's not in the play.
Oh, well, then I can understand.
She designed all the costumes and made them. She's extremely talented.
That's impressive.
Yeah, she's headed to K-State to study fashion. That's happening before you even know it.
Oh, it'll get here in a heartbeat.
You know what else is happening before you even know it?
Tell me.
Baseball season.
It's already started.
But the opening day in earnest, we have had 2 games in South Korea. Opening day for everybody else, basically coming up Thursday, 1 week from today.
1 week from today.
Isn't that crazy? Who do the Royals open with?
Honestly, it is kind of.
I don't think I've even looked at that.
Baseball's here already.
It's here.
Man.
Royals host the Twins in the opening weekend. That'll be interesting.
Ooh, the winner of that series
wins the division.
The division.
Yeah, well, I guess we can just forecast 159 games ahead.
Well, it's what we do on this show.
You ready to talk some Guardians?
Is that what we're going to do in the next segment?
I'd love to. Yes.
Okay, let's go. Might as well.
Zack Meisel, he's scheduled to join us. He texted and said he's got bad service at Goodyear Ballpark in Goodyear, Arizona, where the Guardians are set to host the Kansas City Royals here in about 30 minutes.
So basically, this could be interesting.
Could be fun. We'll see how it goes. There. How about this, Jason? The Eagles.
Yeah.
And then we go straight to one of my other loves, the Cleveland Guardians, and we'll talk to Zack Meisel from The Athletic, who's on the line. Hey, Zach, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
We're doing good. So, as I just mentioned, big Guardians fan, 30 years. But this isn't going to be a sunshine and roses interview necessarily, because I like the way you tell it like it is. And for a team that stated explicitly, hey, we need offense, seems like they're going to go into this season with Miles Straw in center, Will Brennan in right, Gabriel Arias at shortstop. Nothing has changed. Is that your feeling as well, at least as we start the season?
Well, I mean, you know what they always say, right? If it's broke, don't fix it. So that's kind of what they followed this offseason. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can understand certain parts of their thought process. I can look into the crystal ball and see that there are some prospects who should be able to help them as soon as this summer. I can even convince you maybe that there's a really bright future ahead with a really strong core in 2025, 2026. But at some point, I mean, they haven't won a World Series in 75 years. I think fans would like a little more sense of urgency, and they didn't get that this winter.
And why is that? You would think that they should be able to. Is there a reason why they didn't? Are they just staying pat for? I wouldn't understand the reason why they wouldn't try to go out and get somebody. Or did they try to get somebody and just got outbid?
No, I think that this was the winter where the front office executives, you know, if they still had like a cell phone minutes plan, they probably burned through fewer of those this winter than any winter in recent history. I mean, I think it was expected to be quiet, and it was maybe even quieter than we thought. And I think they sort of got spooked a little bit by how the last couple of years have gone. I don't think they had any idea that they were going to come within one win of the ALCS in 2022. That was supposed to be a year full of trial and error, auditions, 17 rookies debut that year. And that sped up the timeline. And I think the issue was that their timeline was never meant to be that early. And so last season they sort of tried to patch it together and run it back with a lot of the same guys. And you saw some sophomore slumps. You saw some just players who didn't quite progress. And the big thing is you saw some missteps by the front office. They traded a couple hitters who excelled elsewhere. They bet on the wrong guys internally, and they had some injuries. And that led to a 76-86 record. And I think it led them to sort of recalibrate and say, where are we actually? Because we've been wrong in that evaluation the last 2 years, and we have to get that right. And we have to look at it objectively and say, when's our best chance of winning and building another contender that can sustain winning for several years. And I don't think that they think 2024 fits into that. Now, in the AL Central, maybe you can fake your way to contention, but I think the best days, the best time period for this team are probably 2025 through like 2028.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Zack Meisel, our guest, he covers the Cleveland Guardians for The Athletic. So you mentioned the drought, 75 years. It's the longest in baseball, at least, among teams that have won award. I guess it's the longest either way, 75 years. Does this feel like an organization from the top down that is on a mission to win a World Series? Do you think that's their stated number one top goal? And I know it's a phrase, at any cost. They're not going to spend the money that other teams are going to, but at virtually at any cost, that they're going to get that done.
No, I think it's only on their terms, and I think ownership's obviously a big part of that, but it's the way to do it. They're not going to push all their chips in one season because they believe in the flukiness of the postseason, and they believe in. I mean, they were the poster children for this. 2016, they were totally shorthanded, had no business winning the World Series, and they had a 3-1 lead on the Cubs that October. So the following year, they come back, and I think a lot of people felt like it was their time. They won 102 games. They were the favorites going into the playoffs, and they got bounced in the first round. So their perspective is, how can we build something where, we're winning 4 or 5 division titles in a row, and we go into the playoffs and we just have more bites of the apple. I think that's the way they want to do it. And when you do it that way, and you're also not willing to spend money, it's really hard to pull off. And so I think you wind up with situations like this where it looks like 2022 was the beginning of another run, and instead it was just a fluke, really.
Do you think, Zach, that they know exactly what they had in 2016? Obviously, that's 8 years ago now. You can't necessarily recreate everything. But I remember the very first game or two of that season. You had Napoli and Uribe, who didn't turn out to be much, but you had these veteran guys who seemed to be providing steadiness. And I was like, this team looks different than many of the other recent Cleveland Indians / Guardians teams of that era. Do you think they know exactly how they built that? And is that duplicable, or whatever the word is?
No, I don't think they knew. I don't think they believed it maybe until they had a 14-game winning streak in June, and the Tigers, who had owned that division, the Royals had been to 2 straight World Series. So I think that they had to sort of prove to themselves, both the players and the front office, that it was real. And I don't think they had any idea early on. I mean, their opening day outfield was Marlon Byrd, Rajai Davis, and Colin Cowgill. That doesn't scream World Series team.
Not great.
You also know, and they operate this way every year, just where your opening day lineup could look very different by July 1st. And I think you're going to get that this year too, where they're still trying to figure out who the shortstop is. They're trying to figure out which of these outfielders fit, if their Rule 5 pick, who's not even old enough to drink legally, can swing a bat. So it's you go through the trial and error in April and May, and you hope you're better off for it in June and July. And in the AL Central, it affords you a little bit of time to, I guess, mess around. But at the same time, it's like, you still need talent, and you still need, like you mentioned, you needed those veteran presences in 2016 to help guys like Jose Ramirez blossom. So I don't know that they have that this year. But it also only might take 86 wins to win the division. So who knows?
Is it obvious that they're just going to have to lean on their pitching in order to win this division? And then, just as a side note, just how does Cade Smith look, just as a fellow Canadian?
He looks great. I don't know if he's going to be on the opening day roster, but I think I would probably mark him down for 40 or 50 appearances in the majors. They're going to use him quite a bit, and having that rookie who's got options, who's on the 40-man roster, that's both a valuable person to have, and also for the player, it means a lot of trips down the highway 2 hours to their AAA affiliate. But he's got really good stuff. I think he's going to be a key piece for them for years. They have to rely on the pitching. The rotation could be really, really good. I think there's 5 very talented starters, and yet 3 of them are coming off rookie seasons. And I think that year 2 sometimes presents hurdles that you weren't expecting. And the 2 guys who aren't sophomores, Tristan McKenzie and Shane Bieber, had major injuries last year. So it's a very good rotation. It's a fragile rotation. And then in the bullpen, they've already had, I think, 3 significant injuries. So there's not a ton of depth. And so what they need from the pitching staff, you're already having concerns. And if you're the coaching staff, you're pulling your hair out with how this has started, because we're not even at opening day yet.
Zack Meisel, our guest from The Athletic, covers the Cleveland Guardians. I guess we'll talk about the elephant in the room now, or the elephants, and that's Kyle Manzardo and Chase DeLauter. Already announced that Manzardo will be starting the season in the minor leagues. Chase DeLauter seems destined for that as well, although I guess it's not official yet. Fans obviously expecting these guys to remake the middle of the order, if not in April, May, June, whatever. So what is the best way to prepare those guys, not only for those expectations, but to succeed in the big leagues?
Yeah, they've been the talk of camp. They both have just torched all pitching they've seen. DeLauter was never in Major League camp to begin with. And I think so fans have certainly been clamoring for him in Cleveland, and that just was never going to happen. But you'll see these guys sooner rather than later. With Manzardo, it's very evident that it is just to manipulate service time, get an extra year of him, and at the same time, they've got a Rule 5 pick, Davison De Los Santos, who they need to evaluate. So they buy themselves at least a few extra weeks to look at him while Manzardo goes to AAA. But look, we talked about it. They did not do anything to bolster a lineup that needed bolstering. And those are 2 guys who I think can help you very soon and just completely change the look of the lineup. It's a lot to put on 2 rookies. DeLauter was in college, a year and a half ago? So I think Manzardo looks major league ready. He's spent time at AAA. DeLauter's played 6 games above A-ball, so it's a lot to ask. But we've seen a lot of hitters struggle to develop in this organization. These are 2 guys who look the part, and you never know, but they feel like the guys to bet on. And for a team that sorely needs as much offensive help as it can get, I think that's why there is, even if there's frustration right now, it's not hard to see how this team could be successful maybe later this season or next year, the year after that, just because they've got a good young nucleus. And those 2 guys are very important pieces of that.
Yeah, that's where I was going to go before we let you go, is, that fan inside me who wants desperately for this team to win. It's not crazy to be excited about DeLauter, Manzardo. Maybe it's Rocchio or Angel Martinez or Juan Brito in the middle infield. Maybe your number 1 pick in the draft, Bazana, Condon, one of those guys, maybe is able to contribute in 2025 or 2026. Obviously, the young pitchers, there's young bullpen pieces out there. Who knows if any of this, let alone all of this, will come together. But that's worth being excited about, right?
Yeah, it's the timeline that hasn't made sense, right? It makes you curious about what they're trying to accomplish, because I think the pitching staff, if healthy, is playoff caliber. I think the rotation has the chance to be really, really good if they stay healthy. But they not doing anything to help the offense now. I mean, that's great that 2025 looks like it could be a special season, or 2026, but the state of the division is such that it wouldn't have taken a ton to make you the favorite. And when that opportunity is sitting in front of you, I don't know why you wouldn't take it. And they decided to just hold steady, and we'll see what happens. It's just weird. You know, you look at the 5 teams in the Central, and like the Royals recognized they obviously needed upgrades, and they didn't have the farm system that has the DeLauters and the Manzardos ready to come help them right away. So they at least did something to just try to get the thing going in the right direction, right? You know, the White Sox are going to tear down and take a while and build back up slowly. But like, it's just strange that none of the teams really, you know, the Tigers, the Twins fall into this. None of them did anything to really seize control of the division. And it's almost like, well, if the other teams aren't trying, why should we?
Yeah, I agree with you. It's upsetting, but we'll see how the season plays out. Zach, we really appreciate it. I love your work on The Athletic, your podcast, the free one, the 50-cent, $1 one. Love them both. So we'll be following you all year. Thanks, Zach.
Sounds good. Appreciate it, guys.
See ya.
Take care.
$1 for Zach's podcast a week. Pretty good deal.
You're all over that?
Yeah, I listen to that religiously.
Oh.
Do we have one out today would be the question.
I don't know. It's probably busy right now.
Well,
maybe tonight.
They put them out occasionally. We don't have one yet, but we will.
Well,
maybe we'll play some of them on the show.
Oh, you think?
Yeah, maybe we'll just play the whole hour.
That sounds like it would be fun.
What are we going to do next? Do you want to draft next? Are we going to do a Jason and Jeff draft where we draft teams to win tonight? Will that become at 3:25? Does that come next? Do you want to talk?
Well, we could. Because none of these games are that interesting.
You want to talk transfer portal when we come back? There's Morehead State's up on Illinois.
That's in the first half.
Morehead State might beat Illinois.
We said earlier there's a ton of these teams that can beat these teams. It's not shocking anymore. And it's kind of fun when they do it.
It is fun. I'd rather see Morehead State than Illinois.
Of course, I have nothing for Illinois. I'd much rather cheer for Morehead State.
Exactly. Morehead, Kentucky. That was where they're located. Where's the University of Illinois located?
In Illinois.
Yeah, that's right.
Thank you.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back with hour number 2, which will include Jason and I picking our teams for tonight's games in the NCAA tournament. Maybe Jason will pick Morehead State.
Maybe.
I mean, it's hard to say. They're on the table.
You never know.
This game's still on, still going.
It's still available.
And Morehead State's going to do it. They're going to do it. Only 27 minutes left. Stay with us. Hour number 2 of Bob and Jeff coming up.
How powerful is Cox Internet? Powerful enough to let your band members in Vegas, Phoenix, and Rhode Island jam like you're all in the same garage. Get Cox Internet powered by fiber with America's fastest download speeds. It's internet built for tomorrow, today. Cox, always building better. Cox Internet is connected to the premises via coaxial connection. Speeds vary and are not guaranteed. Cox terms and other restrictions may apply. Analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence Data. Fixed median download speeds. US Q3 2023.
Celebrate and save at Ashley's Anniversary Sale. With Hot Buys, your choice of colors starting at just $3.99. Ashley Sleep mattresses starting at $2.50. Plus, receive a free adjustable base with select mattress purchases. And shop top mattress brands like Stearns & Foster, Tempur-Pedic, Purple, and Beautyrest Black with 60-month special financing. Only at Ashley. Subject to credit approval. No minimum purchase required. Minimum monthly payment, down payment, tax, and delivery may be required. See store for details.
We all agree that reducing carbon emissions is a good thing. And once again, Toyota is leading the way. We hear a lot about fully electric vehicles, and Toyota has them, with more coming in. But we also know a BEV is not for everyone, whether it's because of cost, range, or concern about finding a charging station when you need it. Plus, the raw materials used to manufacture batteries are limited. Enter Beyond Zero, Toyota's vision for a carbon-neutral future. In vehicles and in manufacturing plants, too, in the years ahead. The materials used to make just one long-range battery for an EV could be used to make batteries for 6 plug-in hybrids or 90 gas-electric hybrids. That's why Toyota's position today is electrified, diversified, empowering you to choose how to reduce your own carbon footprint with the vehicle that's right for you, a hybrid, plug-in hybrid, or battery EV. So shop, learn more, and get details at toyota.com/beyond zero. Toyota, Let's go places.